Hi everyone, this is Heather Lautinen from the Flourish.Academy. This is episode 567, and this is for my wedding photographer friends today. Although, now that I think about it, I guess this could apply to maybe a family session or a senior session. A friend of mine posted this in the Flourish.Academy membership a few days ago, and she said, one of my brides went through other photographers' photos across the internet in our local area and sent me an 8-page PDF of poses they like and poses they don't. Also, all the locations at the place we are going to and the ones they want photos at and the ones they don't. I don't even know what to do with all of this. So this photographer is obviously concerned, and I think for legitimate reasons. And the first thing that strikes me, by the way, I've received messages like this. I shot weddings for almost 2 decades, so I am familiar with this. And I know what happened for me is when I would get something like this, I would instantly nervous, a little bit triggered, because I'm like, well, why did you hire me? Do you not trust me? Also, I'm nervous because I know that the wedding day is very dynamic and I don't have a lot of control over what happens. As a wedding photographer, we are largely photojournalists. I mean, we're documenting the day. Yes, we are setting up poses and family groupings and all of those things, but for a large portion of the day, we're just documenting what's happening. We're not in control of the timeline, the time of day, the weather, the lighting, the crazy church lady, the venue, the locations, well, what happens at the reception if things get behind. Like, we have almost zero control, but we're expected to produce amazing results. Okay, there's a lot of pressure there. I get it, because I have been there. So this, I don't think that this wouldn't make a normal person, or what am I trying to say? This would rattle me. And she's like, I don't know what to say or do with this, because I can't carry around an 8-page PDF on the wedding day and make sure I'm doing this and not doing that, because that's actually going to hamper my creativity. Okay, so my response to this was, again, it triggered me because of the perceived lack of trust. Perceived. The bride didn't say she didn't trust her. It's just how we feel. So it's like my ego is a little bit hurt when I hear things like this. Or I just feel like, okay, this bride is very much wants to be in control, which, by the way, you guys, I don't blame her. It's her wedding. It's the most important day of her life. Of course she wants it to be perfect. I totally get and respect that. But as a professional, it still makes me nervous. So my response to this client would be some version of the following. I'm reading this in our private Facebook group. Thank you so much for sharing your preferences with me. It can be very helpful on the wedding day to understand your style. So, first sentence, I am affirming. I am thanking her and I'm affirming, this was great that you did this. Even though I don't really love it, I still think it's very helpful. The wedding day can be very dynamic, and as a result, we will do the best we can to capture as many images as possible. And while I have complete confidence that we will create a beautiful gallery of photographs, specific images cannot always be guaranteed. So what I'm doing, by the way, that's in my contract as well. It says, due to the dynamic nature of the wedding day, specific images cannot be guaranteed. Of course, I am going to get the logical groupings of your family. Of course, I am going to get the pictures of the bride and groom and the traditional poses. But beyond that, I can't guarantee anything because I have zero control. This type of thing would make me really nervous because I start to believe that the bride has really high expectations. And again, the photos I deliver, I complete confidence they will be beautiful. But you hired me for a reason. And I'm not sure that there's a great way to ask that without saying, hey, can I ask why you hired me? I mean, I'm assuming you hired me because you like my style, the images that I have on my website. And if that's the case, can I ask you to just trust me to do my best to deliver what I know you're going to love? Because again, you hired me and you like those photos. So I can see where this would be a little bit nerve-wracking, but I think that you can manage it in a way that's healthy. All of that being said, yes, I would be nervous to shoot this wedding, which is why I would communicate very clearly, very often from now until that day, about my capabilities, what I can produce, and what's outside of my control, and that I cannot guarantee anything. And as long as you're communicating that in a way that's, kind and encouraging, like I have confidence that I can do this, not like, oh man, I'm never going to be able to meet her expectations. You will. She just wants to make sure everything's perfect, and it will be, because in the instances where I had situations like this, it always worked out. And I would have like kind of joking conversations with my bride. I always had a pre-wedding consultation a couple weeks before the wedding. This would be on the phone at the time. It was on the phone, in person if they were local. And I would make jokes about like, if you want me to carry around this checklist and like be checking off every single thing you want me to do, you have completely handicapped me. You've taken away my ability to perform and be creative as an artist. Are you sure that's what you want? So I've just made her see it from a different angle, and they always ended up like breathing a sigh of relief, trusting me, getting amazing images. It always worked out. I hope that you found this useful. I'll see you in the next video.